Antioch Community High School. My name is Caleb Kozaborski, and this is my weekly weather forecast number 8. Let's hop right into next week. So for next week, it's going to be the week of Halloween. As you can see, Monday, it's going to get really, really cold. We have temperatures high around mid-30s, and low get into the mid-20s. So we're going to be below freezing now, so watch out for frost on grass. For Halloween, once again, still very cold, around high 30s, your low mid-20s, same as Monday. And for Halloween, for you who's going out, it's going to be around high 20s, so dress according to the weather. For Wednesday, we get into November. High, it's going to warm up. We get around mid-40s, and the low is high 20s. Once again, still cold, but it's getting better. Thursday, for anyone who is involved in school, it's semester 1 checkpoint number 2, so keep that eye. High, around high 40, low, mid-30s. Once again, it's getting warmer. Friday, potential playoff for football. Let's see. High, low 50s. Once again, still getting warmer. Low, high 40s. And then for the game time, if there were to be a game, around mid-40s. For Saturday, once again, if it's not Friday, the playoff game will be on Saturday. But low 50s, low 40s, and the game time, high 40s. It's great. And hopping into the temperature outlook, as you can see, it's going to be very below average. Here we are, and obviously, when you get into Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota, gonna be even a higher probability of it being cold, as you can see. And for our precipitation outlook, it's gonna be very, very below average. So, as you can see, in Texas, above average. For most of the northern plains, Great Plains, Midwest, whatever you want to call it, going to be below average. That's because after all this cold weather comes through, it's not going to be very moist. It's going to be very, very dry. And once again, for the drought, we've seen some great recovery across all of Illinois. We are now officially out of a drought. The worst of any drought would be extreme western central Illinois. Once again, great recovery overall from all the rain that we've been having. Now to the oceans from a tropical outlook. Here we have Tammy, and here we have 21. 21 is going to die out instantly once it gets into Mexico and Yucatan. And here we have post-tropical cyclone Tammy. If we go in, here it is. Not too much convection, so there's been no flooding risk. Once again, there's also not a U.S. landfall risk. But the wind is actually the main threat here if it were to go somewhere near Bermuda. So you can see the center of the low. It's rather spinning pretty fast. Over here is all of what's left of the convection. A day ago, it was looking like a full hurricane. It was looking great. But now, it transitions very quick. Here is the whole forecast for where it's supposed to go. It's going to stay basically in the Atlantic Ocean for a handful of days. It might gain some speed and go out. It might go there. So it's kind of all over the place if I go over here. As you can see, we have a loop right here, going into the Caribbean over here and wandering off into the Atlantic. So I'll keep you updated on that. Here's the intensity forecast. Once again, it's not going to be too strong. If it were to hit anything, it's going to stay as a tropical storm, likely. But for that tropical storm nonsense, here's Hurricane Otis, which just happened in Mexico. And that's what it looked like when it hit Mexico. It hit a town called Apaculo, around 1 million in the population. But the issue here is, if I slide forward, it was forecast to be a tropical storm at landfall. And out of nowhere, it hit this pocket of incredibly hot water, and that's what kind of causes hurricanes to go and intensify. So, let's see. Right over here, right over here. In about one day, it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane. That is among some of the top hurricanes and their quickest intensity. So if I go over here, here's some of the damage photos. Once again, some incredible damage. You see trees, houses. Here's an industrial complex. Once again, the winds are doing a lot of damage. And you can see the water. There's not too much of it, though. Here's kind of the overview here. Casualties around 300 and counting, which is not very good. The cost, $10 billion and counting dollars. That is among some of the most expensive hurricanes, especially even in the U.S. Hurricanes are a couple of billion, but this is around $10 billion. The wind speed growth, which is kind of the whole point of this, is it grew 110 miles per hour in 24 hours. Landfall speed, it made landfall as a Category 5 hurricane once again at 165 miles per hour. That is the third strongest to hit Mexico. The landfall location, once again, it was Apoquindo, Mexico, around 1 million population. And then for the rainfall, it was anywhere from 8 to 20 inches, depending on where you were in Apoquindo. And for the storm surge, around 15 feet, as most Category 5 hurricanes do. With the quick growth of this hurricane, basically, it could not gather all the water and keep that water and push it. That's kind of how storm surge happens. Because it grew so quick, it had no time to gather enough water. So that's one of the positives of this horrible situation. And that is my weekly weather forecast number 8.